Good morning, my knitters. How are you? My name is Karen. This is Recreational Knitting, where I talk about all the yarny stuff and my knitting and what I have finished, what I'm working on, and maybe my plans even. And this week, we might be doing an intervention. You'll see in a minute. How are you? I'm hoping this week has been productive and happy and healthy. Cheers. Today is July the 10th, 2025. I come to you from Ormond Beach, Florida, where it is overcast. I don't know what it is. I look out 1 minute and it's nice and blue sky, and then it's gray. We've had a lot of storms this week, which is typical. Yeah, it's not been good. It's not been great swimming weather. You have to find the time where you can get in there before they kick you out because it's thunderings somewhere. So anyway, you're here for all the knitting and yarny stuff, and I'm here to tell you a little bit administratively what we're doing this month in July. We are doing a Christmas cast on, and it's not too late to start. This month we are doing Christmas in July cast ons. Doesn't need to be for Christmas. It can be for anything. It can be selfish knitting. It can be birthday knitting, it can be whatever you want it to be. I just thought that this would be a great idea for those of us who tend to procrastinate for Christmas knitting and decide that, oh, let's think ahead for a minute and plan ahead for a minute. So this will be a good opportunity to cast all those socks on that you would need to make for people, the hats, and you can join at any time. This is just for basically to kind of help group us together and motivate us and all the things. So if you haven't started yet, get your yarn, get your needles, get your patterns, put them together, cast something on. You can work on it from then on, or you can just leave it in the bag and have it ready to walk out the door with you when you go to a dentist appointment or something. So yeah, and we're borrowing this from Angela of Yarn and Yarns, who lives in Wales, and she does a similar thought that she casts on from Christmas to the end of January. She does 12 casts on, and then, works on them. So that's what we're going to do. So if you've cast on some things, leave a message down below. You never know when you might win a prize. Could be. Anywho, let's see what I have cast on in the past. What is it, a little over a week? All right. Those of you that have been watching for a while know that I have a couple things that I wanted to cast on, and I have. I've cast on, I think, 4 new things this week. The first being The Love Note by Tin Can Knits. It is a paid-for pattern, and of course, I'm putting my own spin on it by not using mohair because Florida. I live in Florida. So yeah, the 2 days that I would be able to wear it would be, yeah, it's not going to happen. So I have started, and this is top down. However, you go back, you go back and pick up stitches for the neck. So I have started the lace work. I don't know whether you can see that well or not, but I have started the lace work, hence all the markers. It's a terrible picture. All right, let's see if I can get better here. It's all rolled up because stockinette And let's see if I can get a better picture over here. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But yeah, I've started the lace work. I'm about maybe a quarter done the lace work. So that was a pretty decent cast on, don't you think? Yeah. This is with Madeline Tosh. I want to say Merino Light. I am right. One time. Clock's right twice a day. Tosh Merino Light. And that is in the colorway Celadon. What? Celadon, yes. Looking at it backwards is not easy. This is singles, which is not ideal for sweaters. However, I'm a rule breaker, so yeah. It's a love note. It won't be a workhorse sweater. It'll be let's go out to dinner sweater or over a dress sweater. So it's not going to be a workhorse like some sweaters. So that's my first cast on of this week. So that's one. All right, let me put that over here. I have so many piles in front of me. It's horrendous, yes. The second one that I cast on was something to write Gnome about. That's one of my actual Christmas decorations. And when I say I have cast it on, if you look closely, you can see that I have. Yes. I think I did 3 rounds. You know, got it cast on, got it ready to rock and roll so that now I can pick it up and hopefully just knit. This is the yarn that I'm using, which is Mustache Yarn, Perfect Sock. And this is Kamarobi. I butchered that likely, but it's a self-striping sock yarn, and it's what the actual pattern recommends. So yeah, I think I had that. I made some socks with that last year, Mustache Yarn, so in the same colorway. So yes, barely, but it counts. So I heard that it's less fiddly as you get on. So, you know, I've got it ready to rock and roll. All right, 2 casts on. All right, one that well, actually there's 2 here that, you know, because I don't think I told you last week, but I am starting to help the shop owner at my local yarn store with beginner knitting lessons. So one of the things that she recommends as a pattern, it's called the Melissa scarf, and I'll put it here. I left the actual pattern, I hope, in my car. It could be that I left it at the yarn store the other day. I'm not sure. It is a free pattern. I don't know the author, but it's a free pattern. And this is what it looks like. It's got these little picot edges. I call them something different, but you know, it's bind off. So this is the pattern that Helen recommends after, you know, the first pattern. Likely there are tons of mistakes in this, and I'm fine with that. This is done in Barocco Sesame, and this is the color Lime Ricky, which is also a new acquisition, yes. And this is specifically for the lessons that I'm teaching. This will be the project that we recommend for everyone. So yeah, it's, I'm sorry I don't have the actual picture to show you. If I remember, I'll stick it in here, but there's not a lot of hope for that. So, and this is why we may need an intervention, just saying. See this lovely Noro? I don't even know which Noro it is, but it's definitely cotton. I had purchased this several years ago when we were on our RV trip because it was so beautiful. I love the purple and the blues. And of course it's, you know, self-striping. And I did not know what to do with it. And I've dropped a stitch. I've dropped 2 stitches. So let me pick that up. I'll fix it later. But looky see, another ranunculus. Please call. It's an intervention, right? This is going to be very different than the other ones. This will be a winter and long sleeved. I have 2 of these. So I'll do the body and then I'll go back and do sleeves. I don't know whether I'll have enough yarn to do sleeve yarn management. No idea. Probably don't care at this point, but if I do, I will. So yeah, I've gotten to sleeve separation, and yes, if you would like to call 911 in the Ormond Beach area, 72-hour hold, I don't know. But anyway, another, yes, I just love Noro yarns. It's interesting when I look back and I bought this and I thought, I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but I just loved the colors. And I don't know whether this really is a great way to display these colors, but look how pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Hope you can see them well. But yes, another cast on. So, 4 cast on for Christmas in July. 2 of them pretty unexpectedly. Yeah, so as you can see, I've been knitting a lot on that ranunculus. But big thick yarn like that, it's a decayed worsted weight. So yeah, this will be new to me. I've not done a worsted weight, so we'll see. We'll see if I like that. If not, it'll become something else. So I have not tried it on yet. I want to wait until I get a little bit further down so I can actually see how it looks and fits and stretches, you know, the lace part. So I'll keep you informed. All right, what else have I done? Oh, one more. Forgot about this one. This was actually a planned one. As you can see, there's very little that is a Christmas present. This is called Sampler by Dawn Barker. Barker wool. As you can see, I have lots of samplers up there. I have more in the rest of the house, but these are just the few that I could group together. My love is Quaker samplers, which there really aren't any up there. So this reminds me of a Quaker sampler. Most of them were done, Newburyport samplers were done in red a lot. English samplers were done in red a lot. And there were Quaker samplers that were done, but not as many in the red. So I've used some Madeline Tosh. That's the colors there. And this is the colorway, yikes, Jewel Wing. if you're interested in finding it. And it's Tosh Merino Light. And it is actually a collaboration between Madeline Tosh and Barker Wool of Dawn Barker. So I think that these are the only two colors that come in this jewel wing for this particular, but you could do any kind of assigned pooling type of object, yarn, not object. Oh, hers is called Redwood in this particular pattern. I'm sorry, it's not jewel wing. This is jewel wing. Misspoke. What's new? All right, so let's see what I've cast on here. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so much that I had to put it down one day and work a little bit on that gnome. So I don't know whether you can see that well. You know, it's now bright light out there. But if you can see where the green is, you do linen stitch. And you can see maybe on the back. No, you can't see it on there either very well. But it's very attractive. And then I knit 8 inches of this pattern, then you switch to another pattern, then you switch to another pattern. So I think there's 5 different stitches within the shawl, and then you end again with linen stitch. So yeah, 4 or 5 stitches. So I have just started, but I love it. I love the colors. When I get this finished, I'll have to show you in front of one of my Quaker samplers that it really is very, very similar in color. Yeah, they got it right. So 5 cast-ons. Send help. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Yes. No, that's not a new cast-on. No, that wasn't new. So, Christmas in July cast-on, part 2. I think there were 2 things that I cast on last week. So, yeah. Again, tell me what you've cast on, if anything, or what your plans are for this week. Last week was 4th of July here in the United States, and, you know, lots of traveling and vacations and all kinds of things happening. So you may not have gotten to it yet. So hopefully you will. All right. Let's talk about other things I've been working on. I have a finished object. Can you believe it? And it's actually one of my Lake 9. This is the Jarrell shawl by Martha Wissing. And here it is. It's a big, long shawl, which I have not followed the pattern to a T, but that's me. And you can see where I was last time, and I've knit that much of 300 and so stitches. This is made with Beach Bunny yarn, and it's the sport weight. I use sport weight for it because if I'm going to have something like this that's nice and plump and squishy, it's a little warmer. Not that Florida is where you need the warmth, but it's just beautiful to look at. Beach Bunny Yarns is a local dyer to me. I mean, local, like 4 miles down the road. So, yes, this is the pattern. The pattern actually calls for sparkle. I don't do sparkle. So, yeah. I love it. This is made in the color Cayenne. If you are in the North Carolina area, Beach Bunny Yarns will be at the Charlotte Fiber Show. I'm not sure what it's called. It like went right then and there. But it's in August 2025. So if you're there, look them up, squish their yarns, maybe buy some and tell them that Karen sent you from Recreational Knitting. Yeah, it's lovely. Lovely yarns. It's just very plump. This has not been blocked, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a blocking day probably over the weekend. I've got about 3 things I need to block. So this is one of them. And it's a big one. I even wove in the ends. I guess I can take that marker out now, right? Love it when I finish something. And I'm only cast on 5 other things to make up for it, right? Let's see if I can get a snapshot. Yeah, thumbnail, whatever it's called. So yes, 1 finished object, 5 cast-ons, and coffee on the pattern. But that's okay, I'm going to throw this away. All right, what else have I been working on? Holy moly. Again, 911 Ormond Beach. But you've seen this before. This is really a lovely yarn. This is another Ranunculus. Let me see. I'll just try to display it this way. And I was here the last time, and I've done a little bit. I think I'm going to make this long sleeves, but I'm not certain yet. This is made with recycled silk. I'm sure it's, hold on, I'll get the tag. It's an Italian yarn. I found it in a sale somewhere along the line. It's Jedrifa, and it is 100% recycled silk. There's 165 meters in each 50-gram ball, and purple, blue, light blue, denim-y. Yeah, so... But I have enough yarn to make this a long sleeved. And I was thinking, you know, putting a cami underneath, where with, you know, white pants, black pants, capris, not capris, what are they called now? Cropped, yeah. I'm dating myself. Clam diggers, yeah. Short pants, high waters, right. Anyway. I wish you could see this the way that it's really turned out. It's lovely. Stitch definition is great. The lace, when this is blocked, is going to be beautiful. I don't think it will need a hard block, but it definitely a steam block. But yes, so I have like 5 of these. So this may or may not become long sleeved, but I just thought it would be, you know, kind of elegant. For those times where you just need to look a little nicer. So, another Ranunculus. This is number 5, and that one was number 6. But do they look anything alike? No. So that's the magic of the Ranunculus, in my estimation, is that you can have 10, but they're all going to look very different unless you know, knit them in the same type of yarn. Very different. Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. And one more thing to show you that I have been working on, and this is the Stacy Charles vest. I'm now working on the back. This is going down, but that's where I was last time. So I've done, what, 4 inches or so? And this is made out of Noro. This is how much I have left on the first ball. And let's see, let me put this on for you so you have a better sense of what the actual pattern will look like. It's so it will look like it has sleeves. I have shorts on, so this is going to be attractive, I'm sure. Now, you can't even see them. That's good. These, the back and the front, will be sewn together. And somebody said this is now found on Ravelry. Aubrey vest. I could not find it on there, so you're a better investigator than I am. But you see that it almost looks short-sleeved. So, but I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this in Florida. Put a long sleeve t-shirt with it, you know, a collared shirt. It comes down mid-thigh so that it'll, I think it will look rather, it'll dress up a t-shirt and a pair of high water pants. Yes, or, you know, jeans or whatever. Yeah. So it'll kind of like pull an outfit together. Nice piece of jewelry. Yeah. And this is a cotton. There's probably a little bit of wool in it. Again, I don't know which Noro it is. I've since lost the tags. I think in earlier podcast I still had it. Yeah, but I'm not sure. But it's mostly cotton because Florida. So, yeah. And you can't see that very well with the shirt I have on, but yes, I'm getting there. At least it's not a ranunculus, guys. Yeah. So, I do other things. All right. I think that's it for things I've worked on this week. The Sock Mojo has not returned. Don't know when it will. But there are still some sock make-alongs. One is through Diane of My Pink Bathtub, and Alice, who is SoxyNanaAlice. They're doing giveaways each month. So if you are making socks like crazy this month, this is something to look at. If you don't know and don't follow their podcast, check them both out. I think that to win, you have to be subscribed to both of their podcasts because they're doing it together, and they have a Ravelry group. Another sock make-along is Amanda at Little Likac Yarns, and she has specific rules for hers. Like you cast them on, let's say in July, you have to finish them by the end of August. So check her podcast out and make sure that you follow the rules and enter your finished socks into those if you're making some for our Christmas in July cast on, you know? You can do all that. I have a couple acquisitions. The first being Cecilia. And I got this from Linda. I'm going to put it right here. I cannot remember. It just left Gone with the Wind. So this is 53% cotton. It is 33% viscose and 14% linen. This is the exact same specs, I believe, as Drops. Bell. So, don't know whether they were made in the same mill. That's my guess. Likely in Turkey. So, I got enough for a sweater or a t-shirt quantity of this. And it's 6 plies. But it's comes up as a DK weight. So, yeah. That was my one new acquisition. And the other, that was not supposed to be, but it worked. And the second one was another book that I got from Thrift Books. It's called Mindful Knitting, like the other one. However, this is very different. And I won't bore you with all the projects in it, but they're all very much, there's sweaters, there's plant holders, there's scarves, there's all kinds of things. And all through it, they talk about calming patterns to decrease stress. So I love this. I think those are really cute. I don't know if I'd make them or not. I don't see as many patterns in here that I would really like to make, but I wanted to look at it to see if there was something in there that would be appealing. And they have beautiful buntings. Look at that. I think there's a couple things in here that maybe I would try to cast on here and there. I'm not sure what happened to the light. Again, it's gray, bright, gray, bright. So yeah. All right. That's it for acquisitions. And my Make 9, I've already done on Ranunculus, or 6. And now I get to check off the Jarrell. So now I have a Make 2, and it's only July. Look at me running with it. Yeah. So, I want to tell you a little bit about our local yarn store's riding the rails trip. We had about 14 or 15 people kind of let me know that they were coming, and I think 12 or 13 showed up. So that was really a good participation. There was some confusion being the first time. We left at the end of the stop and went to almost the end of the other stop on the Sunrail in Florida. So those of you that are local know what I'm speaking of. Starts in DeLand, starts with a P, Poncianta, whatever, but we ended up in Kissimmee because we wanted to eat lunch there and, have a little gab fest, which we did. It was delightful. I and about 6 others started in DeLand, and Rita from South Carolina showed up. Hi, Rita. It was so nice to meet you and your husband. How fun. They have a place down here in Ormond Beach that they come to, and this happened to be the time that they were down. So she came over, joined us. We had a delightful lunch, and we had a delightful time coming home on the train. It was great. So yeah, for the first time, we were all kind of confused. We ended up half of us in one car and half of us in the other car, because giving people the direction, the first car on the train is all relational. Do you mean northbound or southbound? Yeah, somebody in our yarn store on the 4th of July everybody said, get on the first one, get on the first one. Well, we did. We went and got on the first one, but they did too. So yeah, but we met up for lunch, and we had 2 delightful groups that came together for lunch, and then for the most part, most of us rode home together on just one car. I missed Dante totally. She got on the other car and ended up getting off at Orlando Health, and so I missed her completely. So, hey, Dante. Yeah, we'll get together and be more specific about which car to ride in the next time and where we'll all be. Yeah. So it was fun, and we'll do it again in August, and it sounds like Helen, our fearless leader, will be with us, so, which is very good news. And I think that's all I have today. I'm not even going to talk about bad things in the world happening. Just if you pray, pray. Think good thoughts if you think good thoughts. Think of us in the U.S. where we've lost our collective minds. And again, I apologize to the world. And we're a different place now. So anyway, I just want you to have a wonderful, productive, creative week. I will hopefully see one or two of you at SSK. If you are at SSK and see me, please come up to me and say, hey, you don't know me, but I know you, and please introduce yourself. Leave me a note if you are going to SSK and are watching this. That way I'll try to be a little bit more aware of who I'm talking with. I'd love to meet with you, and have a beverage or two with you. It would be fun. So, on that note, now more than ever, knit in peace.